Well, there you are. Here we are at the railway line. Stop, look, listen, beware of trains. I checked the times. There shouldn't be one around now. If I sort of show you, standing right in the middle of the line, and that's the way. That goes right the way up to back to Hastings. And if I come round the valley, you'll see you go back the other way. And there we go. There's the train track going along, and that goes towards Winchelsea and Rye. Nice bit of straight track. Been along here hundreds and thousands of times. As I pointed out just a minute ago, you have to sort of cross the railway, but bizarrely you then sort of walk around a little bit and then you cross back again and come back round, cross the other side of the railway and down here, and that's where we're headed now. In amongst all the sheep. So we've had cows and now we're going in amongst the sheep. I don't expect they'll stand around, they'll probably move out of the way. And up the top of that hill there is a lovely little pub where I'm probably going to stop and have a pint, you know. He's looking very intently, isn't he? He's probably thinking, what on earth is that strange man doing? I don't want to be on YouTube, he's thinking. You can see all these cows here. They all started making a lot of noise and coming over towards the fence. They're on the other side of a little canal to me, but I think they must think that I'm the farmer or something, because they're all walking over towards the gate here, probably thinking that I'm going to let them out. I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint them. Sorry guys. Now this is when you want smell-o-vision, believe me. Well, walking up the hill, and a few hills you actually have to do in this, with those cows. I felt a bit like Dr. Dolittle talking to all these animals, I must admit. I think they're getting very disappointed that I didn't let them out of that field, you know. Hey, I'm walking up the hill from the other side of the valley, I'll start puffing in a minute, up towards Icklesham itself. Now Icklesham, lovely little village, was first mentioned, so another very old village, because it was first sort of mentioned in documents in 770 something or other. So it's been around a long time. It's got a Norman, or partly Norman church, so that takes us back to the sort of 1100s. And God, this is hard work, I'm out of practice. I've done a walk for a while. But so the pub that I was talking about, the Queen's Head, the pub in Icklesham, if you ever come this way, it's a lovely pub and you'll see why very shortly. Well, here I am in the pub, and you see it's one of the few pubs I know that's actually got its name written on the roof. Very nice views from the pub. I'll show you that very, very shortly. But I got my pint of beer and I thought I just couldn't resist that. So cheers. Oh, that's very nice, you know. I say I'm sweating after walking up that hill. I think a well-earned pit stop. I was doing the pub. I just thought I'd show you the view from the garden. So lovely garden up here, and that's over in the distance. You probably won't be able to see it. It's a bit of a murky day, unfortunately, today. But that's Rye over in the distance, and the view down into the valley. So it's a lovely view right the way around. Very, very green. We have had a lot of rain actually this year. Well, we've had a fair amount, I suppose. We're not in this particular part of the world. But it's still, obviously it's very, very green. That's one reason why we got all the sheep, I suppose. But a lovely outlook. If you ever come around this way, they do lovely food in this place as well. I may have mentioned before. Good supply of firewood down here for their big roaring fire which is going on. It's another reason I come out here, because it's actually quite warm today. Well, I've dragged myself away from the pub, the Queen's Head, and come over the road, literally over the road. And this is the church at Icklesham, as I said. Another one of those ancient churches, partly a Norman built church, so that shows you how old it is. One of those great old graveyards that you get in British churches. I'm sure there's an old yew tree around here somewhere. That's possibly it over there. Traditionally found in churchyards over here, yew trees. Some of them sort of dating back sort of 1,000 years, some of them the oldest. Don't you see all these sort of, as I said, I might have mentioned before, all these apples just laying around. So every year I come through here and pick up a few apples, because they never seem to pick them. I don't know why that is. I never met the farmer and found out, I must admit. But you do manage to sort of pick up a few. I'm a bit late this year, unfortunately, so I haven't got as many as I'd like to. But some of the apples are absolutely gorgeous, and nothing like a sort of a fresh apple, either off the tree or that's just sort of recently fallen. Very, very crisp and juicy. And I'm heading off up towards that windmill. I don't think you can see that windmill up there. Very nicely preserved windmill, and I'll tell you a bit more about that very, very shortly. Well, here we are by the windmill itself. I think this is called Hog's Head Windmill, been lovingly restored. So very commanding position, as has to do all windmills, I suppose. When I get to the top, I'll show you a view down towards Pet Level, which I did a walk at not long ago. But what a lot of people don't know is that this windmill is owned by Sir Paul McCartney, who lives on the other side of the valley, to basically the other side to where I've just walked. And he actually uses this as his recording studio, and I'll show you a bit more of that because there's a better view of it from the other side. So there's another view of it from here, and what he does, he actually uses this as a personal recording studio right up on the top of the hill. And I've heard stories about the Queen's Head, the pub that I was in not long ago. Several of his sort of friends like Jeff Lynne from the ELO, Steve Miller, George Harrison, and even Paul McCartney himself have used the Queen's Head, which obviously isn't very far away from here. I've never seen anyone about. There is actually a window open, so you never know. He might be about. As I said, he does actually live on the other side of the valley, and you might have seen this in several of his videos, especially his older videos. You might have seen him sort of using this studio. Lots of his recordings are actually recorded here. As I say, he's got a great view of £5 round. You'll see down to Pet Level, where I did my walk all about the sort of dinosaur footprints and the fossils, and that's straight down there. So nice commanding views. So I've just walked past, and actually there are actually lights on inside, and so there's a window open, so you never know, the great man himself might actually be in there today. I daren't go and knock on the door and ask for a cup of tea.